God always bring you out of situations, but God will never leave you. And here's the last thing that I really want you to get. God will protect you. Declare it out of your mouth. Affirm it into the atmosphere. God will protect me. I declare it now. I declare it now. God will protect me. You look at the text and you see this. Look at verse 27. Daniel chapter 3, verse 27. This is good, y'all. Then the high officers, officials, governors, and advisors, they crowded around Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they saw that the fire had not touched them. Jesus. Not a hair on their heads was singed, and their clothing was not scorched. Jesus. They didn't even smell of smoke. Jesus. Why? Because God was protecting them. Nebuchadnezzar went to the fire. He called them out. And when he called them out, he realized that there was evidence that they were protected. He knew that they went into the fire. He saw that the men who threw them into the fire, they couldn't withstand the heat, that they died. But for some crazy reason, these individuals going through the same stuff as, but they protected. Come on. They didn't even smell like smoke. God covered them while they were in the fiery furnace. God was protecting them from what should have killed them. How many people know that God has been protecting you from everything that was designed to destroy you? Jesus. The enemy tried to take you out, but God was protecting you. Some of the mistakes you made in your life could have destroyed your life, but God was protecting you. You could have been destroyed by the friends who stabbed you in the back, but God kept you. You've been disappointed and disrespected and discouraged, but God was sheltering you. Listen, poverty could have took me out. My upbringing in the hood could have killed me, but God kept me. Some of you been hated on, gossiped about, and insulted. Some of you lost family members, friends, and associates, and you should have lost your mind, but God was keeping you even in the midst of the trials that you found yourself in. Some of you are standing right now alive and well, not because of any good thing that you have done. Even when the enemy should have destroyed you, God felt the need to keep you, to preserve you, to protect you. Why? Because he's not finished with you yet. So even the fire that you find yourself in now won't harm you. Why? Because God is protecting you in this. Jesus. Some of us should have lost our mind because of the amount of stress we were carrying. When we were going through that season of trial and tribulation, when we were going through that season when we really were discouraged and even depressed, when we were anxious and we were worrying of whether or not we were going to make it to the end of the week, when our finances were caving in on us, when it seemed like the walls were caving in on us, when we should have lost our mind because of the emotional trauma and the mental trauma that we sustained. For some reason, God protected our mind. He's a protector. He's a protector. I know somebody can testify and say, I've been through the fire, but I just don't smell like the smoke. Just because I don't smell like the smoke don't mean I haven't been through some things. I've had my share of trials and tribulation. I just don't look like what I've been through. Not because of any good thing in me, simply because my God was protecting me. Can somebody declare, I don't look like what I've been through? I've been through some things. Yeah, I've had some ups and downs. I've had some trials and tribulation. I've been on the emotional roller coaster just like y'all. I've been up and I've been down. But the reason why I don't look like what I've been through is because God protected me. Throughout my entire life, God kept me. As God began to preach this message to me, I started reflecting on every dangerous situation I put myself in. I started reflecting on every foolish decision that I put myself in. I started reflecting on every bad mistake that could have destroyed me. But some reason I made it out. I recall jumping over trains by South Norfolk, leaving the rec center, getting back to Woman Place when the train could have moved and I could have failed and been crushed. I remember car accidents where I didn't get destroyed. I remember sickness and disease that tried to take me out. But for some reason, God kept me. Not of any good thing in me, but simply because my God, when I look back on the goodness of Jesus and all he's done for me, he was keeping me. See, some of y'all got a more powerful testimony than you know. Some of you have been preserved. God has kept you from the moment you came out of the womb to right now. You have been preserved through flus and sickness and cancer and tumors and trauma. Some of you have reached a level of brokenness because of disappointment and heartache, because of despair, because people stabbed you in the back. People who you thought you could trust violated you and made you feel even more insecure. But for some reason, God brought you out of that low point in your life. Why? Because he was protecting you. You got to have the evidence living in you to be able to declare out of your mouth, God will protect me. He done kept me all this time. He gonna keep me even as I go through this situation I'm dealing with now. Even as we all receive the residual consequences of this pandemic, and we all struggle a tad bit financially, and we all go through something emotionally, and we all have to battle with the reality of being isolated, when we all have to battle with the reality of a new normal, and we all don't really like what we're dealing with. But you have to be assured that no matter what you confront, no matter what you face, God will protect you in this season. I declare that you shall live and not die in the name of Jesus. I declare that you shall live and not die in the name of Jesus. God is not finished with you yet. God still has more in store for you, that this season too shall pass, because God has a plan for you. He said that some people are going to fall away, but I can't allow you, because I got something left for you to do in your family, in your marriage, with your kids. There's some relationships that you got to restore before you leave. God said, I'm not finished with you. My purpose is still on your life. You got some people to reach in the name of Jesus. That's why God has to preserve you. He said he's not finished with you yet.